no sabía que esto podía ser también en español, entonces pues voy a hablar en inglés, pero pues pueden preguntarme cualquier cosa si lo desean. I was asked to talk briefly about 4 points that I hope you will find interesting, and those are dual citizenship, political changes in Mexico, what it's like to be a diplomat, and the importance of education. So let's start with dual citizenship. The concept of dual citizenship or dual nationality means that a person is a national of 2 countries at the same time. It's important to bear in mind that each of these countries has its own nationality laws based on their own policies. When we talk about nationality here, we mean the official right to belong to a particular country. As you may know, nationality can be acquired by the right of soil, in other words, by birth or the place that you're born in, by the right of blood, which is passed on by parents and grandparents, or by a naturalization process, which means that an individual with certain nationality at birth may naturalize at a later date in another country and therefore become a dual citizen. In Mexico, since 1998, the law permits Mexican people to have another nationality aside from the Mexican. It was a transcendent change in our legislation as it expanded the rights of Mexican citizens, but also their responsibilities. The Mexican nationality is not lost by acquiring another nationality or even multiple nationalities. To lose it, you have to explicitly undergo a legal process and renounce to it. Now, I've been talking about dual nationality or dual citizenship here, but you should know that the Mexican law differentiates between nationality and citizenship. Nationality is the attributes of the person in international law that describes their relationship to the state, whereas citizenship is given to those nationals, those who hold the Mexican nationality, that have certain rights and responsibilities before the state. So to be a Mexican citizen, you need to be first a Mexican national. Mm-hmm. And if any of you would be interested in acquiring the Mexican nationality, of course, at the Consulate, we can help you with that. We'll make that process very easy, and it will be an enormous advantage for you to have both nationalities. Now, let's move on to political changes in Mexico. We have had huge political changes in Mexico in the last 2 decades. Yeah. You seem to agree with that. In the year 2000, before most of you were born, there was a major shift in Mexico's political system, with a new party being elected for the first time after 70 years of the old party being in power. Since then, we have consolidated a strong democracy with very solid values. Last year, we had elections. It was another big deal for the country. They were held in a transparent way and with minimum disruption. And destruction, I would say. The victory of Andrés Manuel López Obrador, AMLO, as lots of people call him, and of his party, Morena, was the crowning of Mexican democracy. Since 2000, the 3 main political parties have had a chance governing the country. Mexican voters expressed their will to reassign power with a tremendous shift to the left. López Obrador won the election with 53% of the votes, 30 points ahead of his closest opponent. It was an enormous triumph for the left in Mexico. He won 31 Mexican states out of 32. And he represented the anti-establishment option. Together with his coalition partners, his party holds majority of seats in both houses of Congress. AMLO's project entails what he calls the fourth transformation in Mexico's socio-political history. It is, as it sounds, a huge and very ambitious project. People expect big changes, and although it's going to be very difficult for him to fulfill most of his campaign promises, there is going to be a significant change in the style and substance of Mexican politics, particularly in the let's just say that government spending reviews, along with a narrowing of public agencies and the number of public servants. We can expect a slower approach to private investment in all, yet even changes to the economic system are unlikely, especially in our commercial relations with the U.S. Two of his most are security and rooting out corruption. Although he recognizes security in the country as one of most Mexican main concerns, are rooted out in corruption. Rather than wage our own crime, which is violent crime groups, which is identified as poverty, corruption, and impunity. AMLO's comprehensive approach to target the problem of security in Mexico is to advance simultaneously before areas local police, prosecutors, judges, and the prosecution. Very much. So, yes. Now, what's like being a diplomat? Well, it's very exciting. It's what I do. I love it. As a diplomat on their government in other states, you get to conduct the international relations of your country, to participate in international organizations like the UN, to stand up for international policies of your government and negotiate them and paramount to protect and defend the rights of your fellow nationals abroad, which is what consuls do. You also have the opportunity to promote and share the culture, art, sports, history of your own country. Sounds great, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. You get to travel, and especially you get to meet other people. When you live and work in different countries, you also learn to adapt to different ideas and to. But being a diplomat is not always easy. You leave behind your family and friends, your home, your country. You have to move places constantly and start all over again every few years. And when you have a family, this turns more complicated. As you can imagine, schools, friends, routines, boyfriends. Sometimes you or someone from your family may not like the place you are sent to. It's somehow like the army. As members of the Foreign Service, we are public servants, and we have to serve our country wherever we are sent to. And where can we be sent to? Well, Mexico currently has 80 embassies around the world, 67 consulates, 7 permanent missions in international organisms, and 3 liaison offices. As you can see, we have a very significant worldwide presence with over 150 representations, including consulates in the United States alone. Here, like no other country has as many consulates in any single country as Mexico does in the United States. In Texas, we have 11 consulates. The importance of education is an immensely important part of a person's life. It has been said that a good education has the power to change a life. It's absolutely true. But education not only gives you the power to change a life, yours, it gives you the power to change many lives, even to change our world. Through knowledge, we can make things better. Yes, education can make us successful people, but more importantly, it makes us rational beings. It helps us find fulfillment in life. I would even say it makes us more human. Education gives us opportunities. And when I say education, I'm not only referring to schools, teachers, subjects, and universities. Education is also reading, practicing sports and arts. It is knowing your culture, your traditions, your history, and what goes on in the world. It's basically knowing yourselves. I guess you are mostly juniors and seniors here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got a few, maybe a little bit different, most of you students.
Well, as you are about to graduate from high school, I would encourage you to further your education, because by doing so, you will pursue your goals, reach your dreams, and become better human beings. Thank you.
Thank you so much. In a couple of minutes, we have a bill, and it'll be about 5 minutes change, and we'll bring in some more people. The same teacher's going to bring in more people, so we can do this again. What got you interested in being a foreign diplomat when you were young? Because look at this crowd. I bet you there's a foreign diplomat somewhere in you. You know, I don't know if we can check it out, but how do they know that how did you know when you're their age?
You know, in my case, since I was very
Guys, let's have attention.
No, you know, since I was very young, a very little child, I always loved flags. You know, I played with flags. When I saw a diplomatic plate in cars in Mexico City, I always told my parents that I wanted to be in one of those cars.
Oh, yeah.
So
you don't have to stop the stop signs, and please don't have to stop signs.
Not only that, but...
Everybody, let's give them a...
Can I record?
Yeah, it recorded.
Okay.